back to my channel. I am Grace Adoko. I have been thinking about something lately and I wanted to discuss it with you. And it is setting healthy boundaries, saying no and not feeling guilty about it. It's a topic that many of us find it difficult, but it is crucial. I have realized that in order to maintain a good balance and care for myself, I must establish certain boundaries for myself. It has nothing to do with you. It's something I'm doing for myself. What you accept, what you reinforce, and what you permit teaches people how to treat you. Tony Gaskin. Does this quote resonate with you? Boundary is a personal restriction or guideline that establishes the emotional, physical, and mental distance between you and others. Healthy boundaries fuels clear communication, awareness, and confidence. Setting boundaries is very important for sustaining your physical and mental well-being. Boundaries help you define your limits and avoid being overwhelmed by the expectations of other people. To avoid burnout, practice saying no when necessary and prioritize your self-care. Identify your needs, explain them gently, and stick to your limits. And there are people in your life who are going to be very angry when you start setting healthy boundaries for yourself, loving yourself, and prioritizing yourself. You will recognize these people because they are your abusers and they are people who benefited from your misery. They only want you to be in the state that they have known you to be. Some other people close to you might think they mean well for you by projecting their own insecurities to you. What they don't know or what they don't understand is that where you are going is different from where they are coming from, and what you see is different from what they are seeing. And to get to your destination, there are certain things that you need to avoid, stop doing, or leave behind. Some people don't understand what boundaries are, and most of the time you have to forcefully enforce these boundaries. Take note that only users and abusers will get offended when you start setting boundaries and loving yourself. Raise defense and kick them out. The people that love you will love you, support you, and understand you regardless. Also note that healthy boundaries leads to healthy relationship with others. If you are new here and you are liking this discussion, please hit on that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be a part of this self-development journey. Self-awareness is the first step to setting healthy boundaries. What are your needs? What are your priorities? And what is your constraints? These are questions you need to answer to appropriately express your wish and needs when setting healthy boundaries. When you are aware with what you want for yourself. Be direct, and start distancing yourself little by little from those people who are not aligned with your priorities. For example, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I must decline at this moment. I am focusing on some personal obligations and I want to give my attention where it counts. Number 2, express your opinions and desires using direct language. Use I statements. Frame your demand as a personal sentiment or experiences, because some people might think you're setting personal boundaries is you accusing them for something they have done or something they have not done. Because some people don't understand that setting healthy boundaries is for yourself. They would think you are accusing them for something that they have done or something they have not done. And then convey your demands boldly and remember that it is okay to prioritize yourself. Please, I need some devoted time for my self-care and personal development. I hope you can understand because I would like to handle my commitments more deliberately. Passion. Practice self-compassion and remember that setting healthy boundaries is a polite way to keep relationship in balance. The third key tip to setting healthy boundaries and not feeling guilty about it is to be specific. Select a specific time to discuss distraction when both of you can focus and interact without distraction and express yourself confidently. You have to be true to yourself and you must be truly committed to something else. This could be your work, personal development, or even a relationship. Setting healthy boundaries and not feeling guilty is possible if you recognize the importance of your own well-being. When expressing yourself, maintain a composed manner because even if the discussion becomes difficult. Avoid using hostile language. Setting healthy boundaries specifies what behavior is accepted and what behavior is not acceptable. Also remember that boundaries are for your own good and it is not selfish to set boundaries for yourself. It helps in protecting our well-being and keeping our lives in balance. Setting boundaries and saying no is difficult. It is a skill that you have to learn if you want to be happy and live a healthier life. Setting healthy boundaries can be challenging most of the time because it is easier said than done. It gets very lonely when you start setting boundaries for yourself because most of the time you are not used to being alone and you are not used to accepting the things or the lifestyle that you feel deserving of. So that feeling of loneliness and guilt will definitely creep in, trying to convince you that something is not right with you. But constantly remind yourself that you have not done anything wrong. Use affirmations to tell yourself that it is okay to set boundaries. And just because you feel guilty or lonely doesn't mean you have done anything wrong. Remember to also celebrate yourself because it is not easy to set boundaries and stick to them because it is going to feel very uncomfortable most of the time until you get used to it, just like every other good habit. Also remember that you are not responsible or accountable for another person's feelings or comfort, but you are only responsible for yours and you can only control yourself. And that concludes today's video. Thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from it. I will see you in the next one.